Hello collectors! It's Steven here with a review of Tomee's Charizard Evolution sets. Tomee reissued the Mega Charizard released as action figures with a Charmander and Charmeleon as Toys R Us exclusives, which oddly enough can be purchased elsewhere on Amazon and the like, and these sets look to be a nice package, but at almost $30 a piece, are they worth it? Is it worth just getting the whole family line essentially in one shebang? Well, you know the drill. Let's take a look to see whether or not they're worth adding into your collection. So there are two packs, both have Charmander and Charmeleon, while one pack has Mega Charizard X and the other Mega Charizard Y. There is not one overarching pack, but I thought it would be best for this review to just look at Charmander, Charmeleon, and then separately look at the two different Mega Charizards because the same product, just different Mega Zards. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does, because it's pretty straightforward. So, Charmander. It's pretty nice for its size, but unfortunately we do have some quality control issues. The paint, it's pretty alright. Overall, if you're going to get this for, let's say, a kid like Timmy, Tommy, or Susie, then they're going to be pretty happy with this because it's a nice little Charmander toy, and you can't get much better than that. If this is for more so an adult collector, then unfortunately this may not necessarily tickle their fancy because a high-end import item, like maybe something with the upcoming Figma Red, might be more appropriate. However, at the end of the day, when you look at the size and the paint detail and the price, it's not too shabby. Next up is Charmeleon, and very similar to Charmander, there really isn't too much to say because I've already reviewed this figure along with Ivysaur and Wartortle that were in a 3-pack that came out a couple years ago prior to this video. There should be a little card that pops up now to take you right to it in the top right hand corner of your screen. So if you want a really in-depth look at that whole pack, go ahead and click on that now. Overall, this figure looks to be about as expected. Not great, but not bad. Absolutely does make a fantastic display piece, and whether or not you're looking to get a stand-in between a smaller Charmander figure and a larger Charizard figure, like let's say the D-Arts or SH Figuarts, this is the Charmeleon figure to go to. This figure does have some articulation, but it's minimal and it's on swivels. It's also not utilized too well because he's stuck in an action pose, but those small changes to the posing are nice with the articulation. So overall, if you want a nice actiony Charmeleon figure, this is the one that you're gonna have to go to. Now the impressive stuff, the Mega Charizards. We're gonna start with Y. Why? Because people like X and I want you to keep watching. I'm evil like that. Anyway, Megazard Y's quality is pretty nice with no real major issues and it looks just like him. The only slight thing that might be an issue is the metal in the jaw, but we'll talk about why that metal is there a bit later. The paint is relatively clean for a domestic figure, though the tail flame is a bit messy. Of course, there will be variance in quality control from figure to figure, but for what was originally a $15 toy, you're not going to get high-end import quality off of this. And besides, as you're going to be seeing in the next section for articulation, this does have an action feature, and when you combine everything together, for the looks, it is more than acceptable. Last up, we have Mega Charizard X. This is the absolutely more popular one, and his bundle was a bit more difficult to find in store. I actually wasn't able to find this one at all. Overall, the sculpt quality is nice, and it captures the snarl of the design surprisingly well, which you might not expect from a cheaper American figure. The paint doesn't exactly match up too well with some paint splotches here and there and some generally poorly applied paint, but for the price point, again, you might say that that's alright. And again, quality control from figure to figure may vary, so I probably got a dud. And as you're going to be seeing in the next section, I definitely did, which is sad. But again, for $15, you can't expect super import quality at $15. The flames overall look a little mushy too, but set up in a display or for fun playtime, this is a minimal issue for most. All in all, for a Mega Charizard X stand-in figure for adult collectors, this is pretty good, but if this is for playtime, this is the thing to go to. So Charizard here actually does have some articulation, but it's not too much, but that's okay because this is a cheaper toy. So we have swivels at the shoulder, right? This one's pretty loose on mine, but that's okay. We have swivels at the hips. Unfortunately, you got to really push to get that to move, and I don't feel too comfortable doing that. But you get a little bit forward and back movement. The mouth does open and close, just like that, but that is actually a feature, and you can move the wings a little bit. Oh, you see that? Spoiler alert. So this is a real action figure. If you pull down on the tail, and this is what the metal screws are for. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's got a little action gimmick there. So the whole point of it is to get Charizard to sort of stand on his feet and pull down on the tail. But unfortunately, that doesn't exactly work too well. But yeah, as you can see there, you can get him to act sort of like a woodpecker. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So overall, the articulation for Charizard, it's more so a static figure than it would be, say, a superposable toy. But still, if you got a little one, that is amazing. And if you're a collector, then it looks nice on the shelf. So just like Y, Megazard X here does have articulation. We do have swivels for the shoulders, as you can see here, and we have swivels at the hips, though the ones on mine are a bit loose. Now, we also have the action feature for Charizard here, as you can see, and as you can hear, he's clicking. Don't know why. Officially, mine is broke. So on the Y, you may have noticed that when I move the tail, the mouth opened and closed. Unfortunately, yeah, it's broken on mine. So the mouth is supposed to open and close, and it's not supposed to stay open, which is unfortunate, but hey, you know, it is what it is. If for some reason you really want to see Charizard move with his mouth open like that, Ultrazilla has a review of this particular Charizard up on his channel, and I'll go ahead and I'll link to it somewhere, so look out for that. So overall, again, it's one of those things where if you're looking for a nice action figure where you can do some really cool stuff with it, you know, that. This is pretty cool. And if you're looking for a static display piece on your shelf, you still get a nice one here. Hey, and here's your size comparison with some other figures. Hopefully you have a good feel for how big they are. If you want to put them on a shelf, they're going to stand in just fine. And if you want to clash them with Mario at playtime, then they're going to size up just fine. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. To break it down a bit, you can get the Mega Charizards individually, but they're harder to find now. Or in evolution sets featuring Charmander and Charmeleon with one of the Mega Charizards. Single Mega Charizards are about $15 like I said. Sets are about $30. I wouldn't say the sets are worth the money exactly, since you can get the Kanto Evolution set, a Mega Charizard, and a Charmander bundle with another Pokemon for a little under $30. So yeah, that $30 price tag, not exactly worth it. That's mostly Toys R Us inflation, which we all know that they're really known for, which does suck. But at the end of the day, these are fun little sets to beef up your collection or to make playtime more fun. If you got some extra cash and want some more Kanto goodness in your life, these are a nice way to go. So if you want to fill up your shelf with nice display pieces, this is a nice option for you, but if you really want to make a kid's day, then these sets are absolutely great. However, I would suggest not necessarily buying the individual sets, but I would suggest piecemealing these out for the figures in their own releases, not the sets. Well, that's it for this video, but that doesn't mean you need to close out just yet. There are a few other videos that just popped up on your screen, so go ahead and click on those to watch some more of my videos, and then there's the description to check out, where I've linked to where you can get this figure or others like it, and the credits to see how this video was made, so be sure to check that out. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you. Thanks for watching, collectors, and I'll catch ya in the next video.